The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies.
Sirhan's lack of memory for the murder of Robert Kennedy was genuine, and it was established by both the defense and the prosecution before the trial. Sirhan himself badly wanted to remember what had happened. After all, he was caught with a smoking gun, so he wanted very badly to remember, and he worked hard at it, but he was still unable to come up with any motive or any memory of the crime.
Sirhan remembers the events just prior to the shooting and just after his capture, but claims to have a lapse in memory during the actual shooting.
Do you remember drinking coffee?
I remember being around the coffee.
You don't remember anything at all after that? What do you remember when you got back and after you've had some coffee?
I was choking like a son of a bitch.
Choking?
I was choking.
Choking on what?
They grabbed my throat.
Oh, you mean after the shooting?
Yeah.
I see.
Psychiatrists for both the defense and prosecution testified that Sirhan did have amnesia for the assassination. But to this day, no psychiatrist has found any evidence of psychosis in Sirhan, which scientists consider another possible cause of amnesia. Melanson became convinced that Sirhan's lack of memory is the result of being hypnotized and programmed to kill.
After 15 years of analyzing the evidence and interviewing experts and witnesses, the only logical conclusion in this case, from my mind, is that Sirhan was a programmed assassin, programmed to show up shooting at Robert Kennedy, and programmed not to remember.
Only about 5 to 10% of the population are that highly hypnotizable. He comes under the category of what might be called the hypnotic virtuosos.
During the campaign, he was all in favor of stopping the war in Vietnam, and he wants to bring our boys home.
During the trial, 6 months after his brother's murder, Senator Edward Kennedy wrote a letter to the court asking that Sirhan's life be spared.
It was a supreme act of mercifulness. You know, when I read that, when I heard it read aloud in court, I was stunned by Senator Kennedy's magnanimity towards me. I didn't feel that I was deserving of it, to be honest with you.
The jury recommended the death penalty anyway, and the judge ordered Sirhan taken to San Quentin, there to be put to death in the gas chamber.
The total and complete amnesia that Sirhan demonstrated from the very beginning to this very day suggests strongly that he was A, highly hypnotizable, and B, programmed to perform that act.
For example, in 1954, 4 years before the Manchurian Candidate novel had been published, the Central Intelligence Agency had a team to build Manchurian candidates to commit assassinations. And one of the most frightening memos that I've read is an experiment that they wanted to run to be able to program somebody to assassinate a foreign head of state or an American official.
Surely this is just some conspiracy theory. What evidence is there to really support this?
I'm interested in the historical fact, and the historical fact for me has come from Central Intelligence Agency documents. And the documents definitely establish that by 1954, the CIA, or at least the component that did the hypnosis research, was convinced that they could program people into committing assassination.
Yes, it is possible to instruct a highly hypnotizable person to perform many acts, including assassination.
But I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people.